What is up? We are, see, Gabby, we're starting today, right? Because we have new mics for guests. And I wanted to make sure we at least had the new mics for my man here, who is the WBC Muay Thai champ. Is a Muay Thai champion, right? I'm not saying the wrong thing.
Muay Thai.
Ahmad Ibrahim.
Yes.
I think my Puerto Rican accent helps with it. Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Is that sort of right? No, that's not.
It's actually pretty good.
Is it? Yeah. Is
the
it?
R's perfect.
Is it? Yeah, I can roll the R's. That's my one of my things. Dude, thanks for coming on. We've been chatting for a while. We've been trying to do this like 3 or 4 times now. Kind of like
It's
right.
Better later than never. Thank you for having me in the first place.
Dude, it's a pleasure. Is he the first Muay Thai, straight up Muay Thai guy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
It's an honor.
You get to teach me all sorts of shit that I don't know.
Yeah, man. Punch, kick, knee. That's all we do.
Is that it? All right, well, we're done. That's it. That's what we got.
1 day lesson. That's all you need.
Do you mind if I like curse? I feel like you're such a nice guy. I don't want to like offend you in any way. Oh, you curse too? Let's fucking go then.
I talk my shit.
So
man.
you know what it is? Sometimes we do this thing and then afterwards I'm like, I analyze it and I'm like, I think I'm the only one that cursed during the whole show. I'm like,
no, I mean I try to like control myself, but I talk. I'm from Philly. You know?
Okay, no, I know. Well, just making sure you could be better than me.
It.
No, it's like I gotta watch the drinking. I gotta watch the talking. I gotta watch all these things that I do when depending on who's sitting on the thing.
Makes sense,
no, I've got my mom's called me out for my language.
On here?
Yep.
See?
She goes, Gabrielle. I'm like,
Shit
oh
together,
god.
Gabby. And she doesn't know all the drinking you do on the show too. I'm
My
just joking.
god.
Mom, she's never had a drink on the show. I swear. You haven't, right?
No.
Plead
No.
the fifth. Plead the fifth.
I've offered. I've pushed. One time I'm like, I should probably ask
It's a
her.
nice cup of water you got there. It's nice.
Uh-huh.
It goes down smooth. Well, dude, thanks for being on again. Like I said, you're Philly, straight up Philly. What part of Philly are you from?
Born and raised Northeast.
Northeast.
Yes.
So what was, before we get into your whole, career, I know that from an early age, this was kind of the goal. I don't know if anybody can see. Do you have a good shot of the belt, by the way? This is the first belt that gets brought to the show. I must say, it's a lot of firsts.
Yeah, man, this is.
Look at it. Can we? I'm not gonna. I swear to God, I'm not gonna take it. That's shiny. That is very shiny. I think. Thank you, by the way, for bringing the new set piece. We're gonna be hanging this on the wall.
Of course, bro.
Appreciate it. No, this is a beauty, man. This is great. I'm gonna start with my stupid questions right away.
Okay, let's go.
WBC Muay Thai belt.
Okay.
The same association as WBC in boxing.
Yes, same thing. Just a different person who runs it through Bangkok.
Okay.
So, but it's the same council.
So let's start with Philly. When does your family get to, like, how long has your family been in Philly?
So my family moved originally from Kuwait, and when they moved, they came to visit, and the Gulf War happened, and my grandpa was very, very wealthy at the time, and he lost everything from the Gulf War, and my dad and my oldest uncle were here visiting, and then everybody just had to migrate, and we kind of started with nothing.
Here visiting, like, Philly?
Yeah, visiting. God knows why.
I was gonna say, this is, so I'm from Puerto Rico, and we came to Philly.
I have a lot of family in Puerto Rico.
Do you really?
Yeah, a lot of my Palestinian family lives in Puerto Rico as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's some shit.
So I don't know why they couldn't pick like Cali.
Were they just fucking picking places on the map?
I think one of my grandfathers was here.
Okay.
And they went to visit him. I don't know, man. We could have like been in like somewhere nicer, just warm.
Puerto Rico.
Anywhere.
Can you bring the mic a little bit closer to you? I don't want.
Yeah, anywhere else. But for some reason they chose Philly, and we stayed and started with nothing. And
tell me about Kuwait. I've never met anybody from Kuwait.
I've never been there.
You've never been?
My dad was born in Kuwait. My mother was born in Kuwait.
What are the stories
90% of my family was born in Kuwait. I don't have many stories of Kuwait. I've never been there. I went back home. My family's originally from Palestine.
Okay.
I went to Palestine when I was 2, and I don't know if you know Palestine. It's a little bit rough.
I actually want you to get deep into it and like teach me about all this stuff, because I see on your
100%,
Instagram that you're very passionate about everything.
Very political when it comes to that.
I wish I knew more. All I know is what I see.
Yeah.
And I a lot of times see posts about how you don't know based on what you see.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, back to zero.
It's very simple, but media today is
twist everything.
Portray a certain image. But I went to Palestine when I was 2, and my dad is very sensitive about it. Like me, I'm very vocal, and my dad's very much like, it breaks his heart to the point where he can't speak.
Okay.
So we're a little bit different in that aspect. He took me when I was 2. I was there for less than 24 hours. Really? Something happened in my village. The Israeli soldiers came, started terrorizing shit. My dad's like, nope, going home. And I haven't been able to go back since. Wow. So,
how has, like I said, and I hope I don't sound Oh, wait, tune in to see how stupid I can sound sometimes with these conversations. How different has things been? Like how different are things now versus at that time when you couldn't be there longer than a day?
As
As far as
bad,
relations,
if not worse.
right?
Not worse. Yeah, it's people live there with waking up every day wondering if you're gonna wake up. Like imagine going to sleep and you're just like,
Something might land on me tonight.
am I yeah, like am I gonna make it in the morning? You know, like there's sayings that real things that families do over there. I'll share a story with you.
Yeah.
Last May it got really, really, really bad over there.
Yeah.
And it only got bad because they got a lot of attention, not because anything different was happening. The same shit's been going on for since 1948.
Mm-hmm.
But the only difference is this time people actually gave a shit and posted it, and families people posted it, so it became like a viral movement. But it's normal day over there. But it was getting so bad to the point where, like, do you have any siblings?
A sister. Yeah.
You have a sister. Does she have kids?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have kids?
Yep.
You guys trade off kids. So if one of you die, your legacy lives. That's how bad it got. Where me and my brother, I would give my brother one of my sons, and he would give me one of his sons.
In case something
And
happens.
if we get bombed at my house, at least
It keeps
my
on going.
son stays with you.
Holy shit.
And if you die, one of your kids stay with me.
Okay.
And it's got to that point where, like, people, there was another, I believe, maybe 6 months, old baby, whole family got bombed. Grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, families, the whole family, airline,
Mm-hmm.
the whole bloodline wiped out except the 6-month-old baby who was found in Rebel.
Jesus Christ.
You know, so it's a lot of shit, man. It goes back so far, but there's this whole like misconception that it's complicated when it's like.
So what's the main reason? What's the biggest divide between
The biggest division is people saying Palestinians are anti-Semitic.
Okay.
Or it's a religious war, where it's not. You know, if you translate, I'm a Muslim. If you translate Islam to English, it means peace. And then you have extreme people in every religion. You know, it's like saying every Christian is as crazy as the KKK. Like,
Yeah.
Like there's fucked up people everywhere. You know, and not because there's bad Muslims that the religion is bad. You know, so there's a misconception where like it's Palestinians versus Jewish people, or it's Israel versus Muslims, where there's Palestinian Muslims, and the other 50% of the population of Palestine is Christian.
Okay.
Who have just as no human rights as the Muslim Palestinians, and there's Palestinian atheists. And they all coexist. So it's not a religious war, because if it was a religious war, Christian people wouldn't be getting affected. Like I have videos of like priests getting locked up in the middle of church.
Yeah.
For being Palestinian. Like it's not a religious war, but that's kind of like what the media does, and they make it seem like this Hamas. Hamas is people fucking afraid of that word, like the word Hamas. It's a on paper a terroristic group, but to us it's a resistance.
Okay.
And instead of saying Hamas is terrorist, if you step back and look at the whole picture, and you could ask yourself, well, why does Hamas exist, or why does Hamas do this? Like. There's a reason behind everything. Hamas definitely has bodies on their hands.
Yeah.
But after what? Like after what retaliation? After getting the Gaza Strip in a border, where they say, like for instance, this building, right? Let's say her. She's a criminal.
Cheers.
Is it fair that the whole building were to get bombed because that person was there?
Right.
Where they'll bomb hospitals. They'll bomb news articles. Al Jazeera is the biggest news platform we have over there. Because, and their excuse is always, there was a Hamas soldier inside. I don't know if you know, but Israel has one of the highest armies in the world. If there's a fucking soldier inside, go get him. Like, you gotta bomb the whole building and kill everybody in the process. And they'll do like phone calls. They'll do phone calls to houses in Gaza. Hey, you have 60 seconds to leave. And if you're not,
the Israeli?
the IDF. They'll be like, you have 60 seconds to leave. And if you're not home to answer that phone call, you come home to a bombed house. You know what I mean? Like it's
What's their end goal?
population. If you look at the maps from 1948, every year it expands a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. We welcomed them at first, you know. We offered them a piece of our land, and the UN has acknowledged over 200 violations of Israel.
Yeah.
But acknowledging it, it's like not really doing anything.
Yeah.
Minus doing something about it, you know. So it's just simple, man. It's rocks versus tanks. It's petty rockets versus an Iron Dome. It's not
a fair war.
It's not a war. It's a genocide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you look at the numbers, it doesn't take a mathematician. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just the way they word. Like for example, I saw an article and it was 9 Palestinians died, and 11 Israeli people were murdered.
Right.
Like how did the Palestinian die?
Right.
Like, how did he die? He just dropped dead? But the Israeli was murdered. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, words like that, the average Joe who is ignorant,
Just
or
consuming whatever it's put out.
information, they're gonna look at that like, damn, 9 Palestinians died, but like Israelis were murdered. Like, how? How did the Palestinian die? He was walking down the street and he just fucking collapsed. Like, it's the media. They control everything, you know. And Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that shit. I've been banned so many times of social media just because of that shit. So
let's not get the show banned just yet. Let's not get the show.
Peace.
Yeah. We already got like 10 flags. Believe it or not, by the way, can you bring I just want the microphone to be in front of you.
Okay.
So just like you can squish the arm back, like towards me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, there you go.
There
we go. There we go. Now we're talking.
Perfect.
It's kind of insane. It's similar, but how much control like YouTube and Instagram and all these people have over what they consider censorship,
Violations.
violation.
Like,
it's fucking insane.
It's ridiculous.
So like this conversation might make.
I want to show you at least 3 videos that I have saved on my phone that I promise you will keep you up at night.
Yeah.
You know, be like, this shit has been going on, and there's no argument. Like, just watch it. Just watch it, and then anything that's said after is like, all right, but like, did you see this video Ahmad showed me? Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a war, man. It's not a conflict. It's very, very one-sided. One side's funded, one side is not. The Gaza Strip is boarded up. So for people to say, just go leave, like Hamas needs to leave, like, where?
Yeah.
There's a 7 feet tall.
Now, does everybody there support Hamas?
I'm sure there's people who don't.
Okay.
There's people who don't, and there's people who are afraid to support Hamas. There's a difference. Some people don't support them, and some people are afraid to say the word Hamas because on paper, Hamas is a terroristic group.
Okay.
So to be
Does
brave,
the United States consider them a terrorist group?
yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
Except people who step back and say, why does Hamas exist? Well, I don't know if you know, but Hamas was created by Israel.
Okay.
It was funded by the IDF to overrun an organization called PLO, which is Palestinian Legislative Organization. That was the Hamas back then. And Israel funded Hamas to overrun them. Didn't thinking Hamas would end up retaliating as well.
Yeah. But isn't that the same thing as the United States with the Taliban?
Yeah.
Like they funded them in the beginning, and it's just when it backfires.
It just backfires.
And by the way, I don't want to talk like I know. You obviously know your shit.
No,
I know.
you're right.
But the little that I do know, it's that. It's like you fund people to do the dirty work for you or to do something in your benefit, in your interest. And then when it's like a kid, right? And when the kid grows up and then says, "Whoa, like I don't believe in that," and they retaliate and they go against you, well, they're the bad guys.
Very, 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 very few. Don't quote me, but I'm 99% sure Hamas never strikes first. It's just how the media portrays it. Like the last incident that happened was the Aqsa. Do you know what the Aqsa is? It's the 3rd most holiest place in our religion. It's a mosque.
Okay.
3rd most holiest place is in Jerusalem. And let's say hypothetically, like let me break it down easy. This side of the room, Israel. This side of the room, Palestine. Simple. Aqsa's on this side. Don't come. Don't touch. You know, whenever the Palestinians argue back, because there's a lot of illegal settlements in the Palestinian part where they'll kick families out of homes that they built with their own hands to make room for Israeli settlers from New York, LA, who have nothing to do with that land. And they'll literally, like, imagine someone coming to your home, kicking you out and putting people in there. And you built the home with your own fucking hands.
Yeah.
So whenever they rebel or they retaliate, and whenever it gets too big, the soft spot for any Muslim is the Aqsa. And they attack the Aqsa. And they'll bomb it. And they'll throw tear gas while they're praying. They'll shoot it up. Crazy shit. That's when Hamas retaliates. And when Hamas retaliates, that's when news starts.
Okay.
Not when they were kicking Palestinians out of their homes or telling them and when they get kicked out, mind you, they're not like being escorted to another building.
You're out.
Get the fuck out and figure it out.
Yeah.
For motherfuckers from New York, like, who have no ties.
Yeah.
They weren't born there. They were born an hour away. Like,
Yeah.
people born there, legacies, grandparents, like lineage in that home, and they'll kick them out. Or if, like, right now the new thing is they're building a park on top of a Palestinian cemetery, and they dug up the bodies of the cemetery. They can't live in peace and they can't die in peace. Like, they're literally taking the bodies out from the ground, moving them.
There's no human respect.
It's just no, like, and the UN acknowledges this. That's what blows my mind. The UN openly says, yeah, this is not okay.
When was the last time the UN did anything?
Nothing. The UN
in general.
The UN is the one who voted for all this shit in the first place. But no offense, that's like me voting someone to go live in your house. Like, what the fuck? Where's your say? Like,
But when's the last time they stepped in to fix something? Is my point.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot of talk.
Right.
And so many Palestinians, we get hope like this.
Yeah.
Like this. Like, when the last viral thing happened, like when I said some famous people were talking about it, we were like, yo, like, this is it. Like, this is our time to shine. And all we were was a trend.
Yeah.
It stopped coming down. And mind you, what was going on in Sheikh Jarrah, that was a village that went viral, has been going on since 1948.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, the only difference is we were getting attention. But it's been fucked for so long.
Yeah.
You know, and the only way change will actually happen is when the world leaders give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure they care, but not enough to be for Israel.
Right.
You know, because Israel's funded by America. So, and I don't know if you know, but $3.8 billion every year goes to them from our tax money.
I did not know.
Every year, $3.8 million of our tax money goes to Israel when we have underpaid teachers, we have no free healthcare, we have areas in Philly known as Zombie Land. Like, we could use that fucking money.
Yeah.
And
why does it go to Israel?
To fund them for their army.
But against, like, but for what do we get out of it?
Nothing.
That's my point. Because I mean, we have to have an
We're
interest
their
in when
pocket.
we put.
That's it. We're just we're friends.
Yeah.
If anyone who argues with Israel is going to argue with Israel and America, and those are the two powerful armies right there.
Yeah.
So when you got countries like Russia, you got countries like that who can beef, but they just, you know, like.
So to kind of bring it back to you real quick, I love how passionate you are about it, and I wish there was more conversations about this stuff. How has this impacted your career, and how much of this was a part of growing up in your family, as far as conversations and all this stuff?
As conversations, I was always told free Palestine, but I didn't know how severe it was. I knew, you know, I come from a village called Silwad. Silwad is very, very known. It's where a lot of freedom fighters come from. And we have Muay Thai gyms in Silwad. Like, Silwad is very, very respected. So as I grew up and I realized how important my village was, like, it's in my blood. It's in my veins to be an athlete, to be a fighter, to speak up, to fight for freedom, you know? So growing up, it was always free Palestine, free Palestine. But as I got more of a platform and a voice, I started to say more than free Palestine. I started to wear the colors, wear the flag. It's my way. Like there's no way me wearing Palestinian shorts is gonna free Palestine. You know what I mean? But to me, it's like, hey, we see you. I acknowledge what you guys are doing. You're fighting the real fight.
Right.
I'm just relaying your message. So that gives me a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, if you fight Muay Thai, I promise you don't fight for money. Muay Thai is the most underpaid profession there is. Like, we get paid.
Have you tried podcasting?
I should try. Maybe.
No, I'm saying because it's also underpaid.
Get punched in the face for a couple bucks.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's just a platform to show my colors. Because Muslims, Palestinians, there's a lot of stereotypes. We're angry, we're disgusting, we're anti-Semitic, we're this, you know, some people, they don't fuck with us, you know?
Yeah.
So it's important for me to wear the colors and show people, hey, like, I'm a good dude, you know, like I come in peace, I'm just relaying a message, and I like to think it gives people back home hope that we're not forgetting. They're fighting the real fight.
Yeah.
I'm just going on Instagram talking about it. They're the ones out
Important though.
fighting rocks at fucking tanks. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so as a Palestinian, I feel like it's my duty to be the voice of the voices. So my coach and my uncle always told me, like, we have to be the voice of the voices because they're not being heard. Our most reliable source of media is people with iPhones who record all this shit.
Yeah.
So who the hell are we to not relay that message? They're the one on the front line.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be Palestinian. You don't need to be Muslim. All you need to do is have a heart.
Yeah.
And see what goes on back home. Because nobody really cares until it's happened to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know so many people who just skip. But I promise, if it was your family, it'd be a different story.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
That's the sad truth, though. There's a lot of bad things happening at all times, all over the
everywhere,
world.
man. It's a
And
fucked up place right now.
there's a lot of skipping, you know,
A lot.
until it hits
And
home.
I'm not gonna act like I'm political in every single aspect. There's a lot of stuff in the Middle East that I'm not educated on.
Yeah.
About, like, I don't know everything about Afghanistan. I don't know about Iraq. Like, there's so, like, I'm not a I'm not a politician. You know what I mean? I'm not even an activist. I'm just a Palestinian who knows about Palestine, who learns about other cultures and other places too, because I want to speak up for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you don't need to be Palestinian. You don't need to be Muslim. That's like a thing people think, you know, like, oh. And then you got like people who are afraid to be honest. Like, right is right, wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you can argue about 1948. You can argue about this, that. But you can't argue the numbers. They don't add up as a war. That's all you need to admit. Like, it's not a war. So stop using that.
Right.
Stop using the word conflict. It's not a conflict. One side has an army. The other side is a rebellion. Like, it's not a conflict. Like, it's not. It's so simple. But so many people are afraid to say these things because they're afraid of being judged.
Right.
You know, I know so many people who are friends, who are let's say pro-Palestinian, who are friends with people who are pro-Israeli. No. There's some things I can agree to disagree with. You like peanut butter, I like jelly. We could be friends. But some things you cannot agree to disagree with. Like, there's no way you can catch me being friends with someone who is like, yeah, man, I fuck with Israel. Like, they're doing a great job. Fuck them Palestinians. Yeah, good job, bro. Like, you got it. Like, good job. Good political views. No, like, some things you can't agree to disagree with. And so a lot of people are afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Like, I don't know if you know the guy, the Hulk. I don't know his name. The guy who plays the Hulk in the Avengers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He put up a tweet.
Wait, Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He put up a tweet once saying, about being pro-Palestinian. He got fucking attacked.
Really?
Attacked.
Nobody fucks with Ruffalo.
Put up another tweet saying, I'm sorry, I wasn't educated enough on the topic, and I am not anti-Semitic, and I stand with Israel.
Did he really?
Just shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, people are like their pockets run deep, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, and
then
hate
you look
somebody
up for
like
his
him.
career, like-
What is that, Disney or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
you can't have a view. You can't have a
You can't
view.
speak up, you crazy. And if you have a
No.
view, it better be
I don't-
like to the standard Joe. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
a lot of people are just afraid, so I feel like it's my duty as an athlete who has a platform to speak up.
Yeah.
I've taught so many people who had no idea, man. And I've even changed hearts of people who are pro-Israeli. You just gotta learn how to talk. Like, I'm not the type to shove my views down someone's throat. Like, every time I have a political debate, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You understand? Cool. Don't listen to me. Take what I said with a grain of salt. Go do your own research. Google's fucking free.
Yeah.
Like, take what I said, do what you want with it, but look it up yourself, and read in between the lines.
Does Google censor a lot of shit though that happens?
Well, I never had to actually Google anything.
Yeah.
Like, when I say the media's out there, it's literally phones.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally children screaming
Yeah.
while they're getting bombed. Like, this is you can't hide. Like, you can't fake that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So
you
it's
can't-
coming straight from the source.
it's coming straight from the source. You know,
Yeah.
because our news is Al Jazeera, and it always gets bombed.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, Hamas is hiding there. Always.
Yeah.
So
Whew. Well.
I could go on for days about this topic.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. And it's weird to even cut it short, but we're right next to a boat dock apparently.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that?
Fuck
Is it a whale?
is that? That never happens. Is that the train
Honestly.
station?
No,
Or is that legit a boat?
I think that's the boat. Because we always joke because it never happens during an episode. We're like, oh, we're so lucky. We jinxed it.
That's
I jinxed
so
it last
funny.
week.
This is a lot of firsts on the show, though.
There is a lot of firsts. It's gonna be our first million watched.
There we go.
Thanks to the tugboat. So tell me about growing up in Philly, man, in the Northeast? What was family like? How many brothers, sisters, if any?
So
Parents?
I grew up in the same area. So everyone in Philly knows me as Ahmad the fighter. Ahmad, Rami's nephew.
Yeah.
Ahmad Ali. Like, there's so many Ahmads in our culture. Like, we have to say something after.
Yeah.
Like, in our culture,
So
we
you're
call
Ahmed
you,
the fighter?
Yeah, Ahmad the fighter.
That's
Like,
good.
just,
There's no
everybody
other
knows-
Ahmed the fighters?
No, there is now.
Yeah,
Ahmad
really?
He's 16 or 17. His name's Ahmed.
Did
and he's
you
a
allow it?
fighter. Huh?
Did you allow it?
He has the same name as me, so he put Ahmed.elite instead of underscore.
Oh.
And a lot of people message me saying, yo, there's a fake account of you, like, report him. I'm like, no. I know him, like, he's real. Like,
Oh, that's funny.
you know, so we can't have both underscores, so it's a little funny.
Yeah.
But growing up in Philly, I was a very strange kid.
You were a strange kid?
Very strange. I was chubby, asthma, chess club, Yu-Gi-Oh club, like super
What
weird.
club?
Yu-Gi-Oh, like card
What's
games.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
It was like a card game when we were kids, you know.
You know what Yu-Gi-Oh is?
Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah.
See, you
Oh, I'm
know,
sorry.
yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Look at my shirt. Like I'm a nerd, man. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm just a
it's
nerd.
like
I'm just a
anime
nerd
shit?
Who could fight now? So
It's
it's
anime
different.
shit?
Yeah, I
Is
used to
this
get-
where I look old by not knowing this shit?
No. You should know by now.
I should?
We have a lesson after this. Don't
Okay.
worry.
All right, we're playing game.
Yeah. So I was very bullied as a kid, you know,
Okay.
and my older brother, my uncle was pro at the time, and he was our coach, and all my cousins trained. I was the one who sucked.
Okay.
I was the one who wasn't gonna make it. I was the one who was like hiding under the bed to not go. I was the one who would cry, play sick. 'Cause I hated the gym. You know what I mean?
Really?
Our uncle was very, 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 very tough on us. Extra on me. And I was, like I said, I was the unathletic one. I was fat, I had asthma, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't about that life. And then they all stopped training for their own reasons. And my family was just like, fuck you, you're the one who's going to have to stay. Like, I don't know why they picked me.
Yeah.
But they picked me, and I took my first fight because I felt like I had to. Like, my brother was fighting, my uncle was fighting. I was like, if I don't fight, I'm a bitch, you know what I mean? I got to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I was just scared out of my mind. And then my first fight, I ended up fighting someone with like 30 fights.
Oh, wow.
Don't know
Who's
how that happened.
matchmaking?
It was a tournament, and there was no one in the novice. There was one guy in the open. My uncle was like,
Put him with a chubby boy with asthma.
yeah, my uncle was just like, I don't give a shit, you know what I mean? Jesus, take the wheel. Threw me in,
Jesus, take the wheel.
got my ass kicked. He's like, never doing that again. I fought again like 6 months later. This is like 14, 15 years old. This is 2010.
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry. Were you already developing
No,
into? No, you're still the chubby asthma kid.
Yeah, I'll
Scared
show
as
you-
shit.
Yeah, it's
Don't
horrifying.
want to fight.
I remember the day before my first fight, I cried, and my dad's like, "You don't have to do this." I was like, "I have to. It's too late. I'm here."
Oh, your dad
Like,
was nice enough to say you don't have to do this.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
my dad knows me better than anybody, you know.
No, but at least you
Yeah.
had that. It's not like you had him and your uncle both saying like, "Get the fuck in
My
there."
uncle never made me do it. He just peer pressured the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then my
Thanks,
second
Uncle.
fight, I got my ass kicked again. It was a draw. We ended up doing an extra round. Lost. I thought I won, but whatever. That's pretty discouraging to a kid 0-2 so far. You know, kid who got bullied,
Yeah.
kid who has asthma, all that shit. Third fight, I fought someone 15 pounds heavier. Lost, coincidentally, right? Shocker. And at that point, I quit. But I already had a ticket to a tournament in Iowa. And I was like, okay, after this tournament, I'm going to quit. I already spent my dad's money. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Didn't train any different. Trained the same I always trained. But, like, something in my head was just, like, switch, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, there was no pressure.
yeah. I went
There was
in
no
on that
pressure.
tournament.
You were like,
yeah.
"All right, I'm quitting anyway."
I went in that tournament. Won my first fight. Won my second fight. Got robbed in the finals. But, like, after that, I didn't lose for, like, 4 years.
Really?
So I just wiped the whole junior bracket. Like, everyone as a junior, I was just 16. Age 16, I stopped fighting kids. I started fighting adults only because no kids wanted to fight me back then. I beat a lot of famous people who are famous now.
Mhm.
I beat them when we were kids.
Really?
And a lot of big names that I beat. And I turned 18. Still in Philly, everybody knows me. My gym has always been down the street from my elementary school, my middle school, my high school. So people always saw me. I wrestled for 4 years of high school. So when I got to high school, that's when I started to like glow up in fighting, but not like glowing up as a person.
Yeah.
I was still really weird. You know what I mean? But I was an athlete and I was in the wrestling team, so I had friends. And then 4 years of high school, turned 18 after, started fighting adults. I only fought as an adult maybe like 4 times before I turned pro.
Since everybody knew you, how did they treat you when they knew you were trying to fight in the beginning?
My school was, well, in the beginning, I would get tested a lot. Like, I was chubby, like, oh, this little kid can't fight. I just get bullied, smacked in the head, like, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Stuff you see in movies. And I was always, like, really, like, insecure about it, so I didn't do anything, you know? Especially when people know you, like, they know you fight, they want to test you.
Yeah.
But I was a fighter back then, but I wasn't a fighter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just knew martial arts. I was a pussy. I wasn't going to hit nobody, you know? And then as I got into high school, I joined the wrestling team, and you know, when you're in a team, you have teammates. They look out for you, shit like that. So people stopped messing with me. And then I got really popular in high school, like junior, senior year, as my fighting blew up.
Okay.
Like, there used to be, like, posters of me in the lunchroom. Like, my principal was very supportive of me. My teachers used to have pictures of me in the classroom. They used to go to my fights and get drunk, like, crazy shit, you know what I mean?
That's not
like,
appropriate.
Not appropriate at all, but it was off duty, so it's cool. So it was just, it got really, like, supportive, and I was the captain at wrestling. It was just...
Oh, damn. So everything changed.
Yeah, everything changed. Like, I grew up. I wasn't an ugly kid, you know what I mean? Like, started taking care of my hair, dressed better.
Yeah.
Had better friends and all that kind of shit. And then I graduated, and then I fought, like, maybe, like, 4 times as an adult. And then I was like, fuck it, let's go pro. Like, I don't even care. You know what I mean? And then I turned pro. And...
Now, what are the differences in... Because I know the MMA differences between amateur and pro.
So...
How's that go?
Amateur novice is 3 2-minute rounds. Amateur A-class, like experienced amateur, is 5 2-minute rounds.
Okay.
Pro is 5 3-minute rounds. That's it. Unless some fights you do 3 3s when you agree on it, but you're not supposed to. But it's supposed to be 5 3s as a pro. No gear, no elbow pads, no shin gear, no headgear. Straight, just boxing gloves. And it's funny because I lost my first 3 fights. I lost my first 5 wrestling matches. I lost my pro debut. I was never like the guy who was like, he's going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, when you walk into a room, you can tell, like, that guy's talented. Yeah. I tell everybody I am not talented. I work my ass off. I was never the one who was going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, my wrestling team, there was the varsity singlet. There was the JV singlet. You know what a singlet is, right? And then there was the one I had. I wasn't a good wrestler in the beginning. I was I was under JV. Right. I was never the one, you know. I lost my pro debut after not losing like 4 years. Yeah. It just, nothing was given to me. Yeah. I think out of like 49 fights, maybe 3 were like easy fights because they were replacements. Okay. But like I never had, like I had a lot of fights that I made look easy, but they weren't easy fights. I've never been handed anything ever. You know, I've never picked my opponents. I never.
But what's made you be like, what in you allows you to continue to get past those hurdles?
They call me the Palestinian Golden Boy. Having the word Palestine and like your name, it's like pressure. You know what I mean? It's like.
But where's the Golden Boy? Like De La Hoya?
I guess, yeah. Shit.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. My coach gave me the name. I went with it. You know.
I just didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't ask you a question. I thought it was pretty cool. Palestinian Golden
Boy.
I
like it.
Yeah.
Just making sure it was.
So it was. It's just. You can't say free Palestine and suck. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. Like you can say free Palestine and not win, but you gotta work hard. You can't correlate bad work ethic with an occupation. Yeah. Like if you're gonna go down that route, you better work your ass off to make your people happy. Yeah. Not necessarily win, just make them happy, you know. And having that platform, it gives me pressure. It gives me a lot of pressure because I know people are looking at me, they're watching me, especially after winning this fight. People are already calling me out for this belt, you know. Yeah. So I always had adversity. I've been kicked out of shows for being Palestinian. I've been rejected on TV, fighting on TV, unless I signed to not have my flag. Like a lot of crazy shit, you know. I always had adversity. So it pushes me, it makes me tough. I'm good under pressure, you know. And like I said, being Palestinian, it plays a big part in my ego and the way I look at life. Like I've been knocked out. I've lost at the biggest stages you could think of as a Muay Thai athlete. So I've went into like a 4-month depression where I didn't leave my room. Like nothing my opponent could do to me, I didn't already go through. Yeah. I've been put down. I've locked myself in my room for almost 4 months. Nothing you can do will hurt me. So going into a fight with that mindset, it's like, all right, well, fuck. I already lost.
I've been in every spot.
I already been there. Like, yeah, if you knock me out, it's gonna suck, but I'll be fine. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So having that like not give a shit attitude, it's good.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I have to give a shit because my uncle was a very, very, very big deal in the sport.
Mhm.
We share the same last name. I get compared to him all the time. That's already pressure as it is.
Yeah.
I'm repping Palestine on my back. I'm repping my family, my community, all my sponsors, my friends, my family. It's any fighter has pressure, you know. So I try to not show it, and I also try to not give myself unrealistic expectations.
Mhm.
Because a lot of fighters, they expect themselves to be like this crazy, but it's just every fighter, I feel like we give ourselves expectations that aren't realistic.
Yeah.
Like, I've never watched a fight and I was like, damn, I did everything I wanted. Like, I should have did this, I should have did that, I should have did that. Once I kind of stopped giving myself that pressure that I have to win, rather than I have to represent my people in a positive way,
Yeah.
it made a lot less pressure. Like, at first, I felt like when I went to that crazy depression, I lost 2 big fights in a row. And I went to this crazy depression and didn't eat, didn't drink. I just was locked in my room. No one saw me, no social media. And it was like, how am I going to call myself the Palestinian Golden Boy if I'm performing like this? And I'm just giving myself unnecessary pressure.
Yeah.
Like unrealistic things that I'm never going to accomplish in my life. Nobody's perfect. Mayweather's 50-0 and he's not perfect.
Oh, he's far from perfect.
He's perfect record, yeah, but we could argue some fights.
Some of those.
Yeah,
Some
you
of
know,
those.
Some of those. We could
Yeah.
argue that.
Alright. Let's
Yeah,
not get
and
in,
I
let's not get into boxing talk, please.
I went into this crazy depression and I just gave myself unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
And I moved those out. I don't have the expectation. I don't need to win for Palestine. I need to represent Palestine.
Yeah.
I need to represent my uncle. I need to represent my gym, my family, my friends, my community. I don't have to win for them because they're going to love me regardless.
Right.
So once I understood that and took a step back and reevaluated my life, my identity crisis kind of ended, you know? So.
I love that. That's a good message for anybody.
Yeah,
Not even
man,
about fighting. It's like when you create certain expectations
You're never
about
gonna
what
reach
you
them, bro.
think you should be doing, a lot of times it's more about going out there and doing it more
Yeah,
so
just-
than the success that maybe comes with it.
You know, a lot of fighters, like me, for instance, like, if I win, dude, I'll get like 600 followers.
Yeah.
If I lose, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for those who are watching, if you have friends who are fighters, check in with him when he loses more than when he wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's when we're really, like, when we win, people only care for 2 days, and you only care for 2 days.
Yeah.
But when you lose, that loss haunts you for a long time.
Yeah.
That's when...
And it's hard to come back from. So even
hard,
at that
you know what
point,
I mean?
you're
Like,
still...
when you win, you're the man for like a week.
Yeah.
And you go back to your same life, training every day, working 9 to 5. That feeling is gone. But when you lose, sometimes that loss stays with you. I have losses till this day that haunt me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's important to check in on people's mental health more when they lose. And even though they're not going to answer. Like, if I lose, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to remember.
But I think that is a big reason.
I'm going to remember that you were there for
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
I felt bad before and wanted to like say something, and then you're like, I just don't know what they want to hear. So then, you know, yeah. But you're right.
Yeah,
you're
you know,
right. It's better
comforting
to say something
Just say nothing.
than say nothing.
Because I've been in that locked room, and the thoughts that I had in my head, they're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good thoughts, and I honestly quit. And then my coach's coach sent my ass to Thailand, forced me to go.
Really?
He's like, listen, if you go for a month, you're going to learn 1 or 2 things. 1, you want it again, or 2, you don't. Either way, you're not going to regret it because you're going to figure something out.
Yeah.
So go.
How was Thailand?
Beautiful. I went twice that year. And I
Yeah.
was supposed to go every year since. That was 2018 or 2019. COVID happened.
Yeah.
I actually sold my favorite car I had, dream car I had. I sold it so I can pursue 7-8 months in Thailand and use that money. And then COVID happened, never ended. Ended up having to buy a new car. Things changed. Got a 9 to 5. So I can't really go the same as I wanted to. But I went twice, 2019. First time I went, I fell in love again. Fell in love with the sport, the culture. Came back for a big main event fight in Chile like 2 weeks after that.
In
And
Chile?
then Chile. I've been everywhere. Chile, Colombia, Korea, Thailand, Italy.
Well, so you don't make as much money maybe as some other sports, but at least you get
I
to
get to
travel the
travel,
world, and
yeah.
the culture that you
know, I get to
absorb.
see a lot of shit.
It's a lot
eat
different.
a lot of food.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
best
okay.
part.
I'm in. Can I be your corner guy just to eat?
My last fight for WBC was actually my first time fighting in America in 3 years.
That was California.
Yeah.
But that guy, so I don't know much about him, but I know he hadn't fought in a while.
He hadn't fought in a while, and he had the belt.
And they don't strip him of the belt like they do in boxing if you don't defend it?
They can. They just don't care to.
Okay. So how much is MMA a part of your life? Is it at all as far as...
I wrestle.
That's what I'm saying. So you have wrestling.
I love wrestling.
So you love wrestling. You were decent at wrestling.
Yeah, I was pretty good, and I'm not opposed to going into MMA. And so a big part of me, like, I need to like figure out is the biggest reason I would do MMA is for the money, and I'm trying to figure out if that's good of enough reason. You know what I mean? Because some people have like these crazy.
Yes.
Some people have these crazy.
That is the only reason. But money and exposure.
Yeah, you know, I would do it to like take a couple fights, but like I don't know if I would ever pursue like the UFC.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just.
But your message would be heard even louder.
It would be. So I
your pockets would be bigger.
I gotta see if I'm hungry enough to go into that route and pursue it that way.
Well, how much more is there to do now that you've accomplished this?
Nothing.
Okay, so
anything after
conversation's over.
Anything after this, I always told my uncle, I was like, yo, if I got the WBC belt and every fight got canceled the day before the weigh-in for the rest of my life, I wouldn't give a shit.
Right.
So I feel like I want to defend it. I want to defend it.
I feel like this is your intervention.
Yeah, right?
Gabby, call the UFC right now.
Right? I actually always wanted to fight for CFFC.
We know a guy.
Knock the wall real quick here.
Yeah, I always wanted to fight on CFFC.
I feel like I can make that happen.
I feel like anybody can. Like I feel like any promoter, like, yo, hell yeah, I'll sell so many tickets, you know?
Well, here's my pitch to you. First of all, who the fuck is driving me nuts? Jesus, my butt's vibrating over here. People have no respect, bro.
I put my phone do not disturb because
I just worry about the kids.
You like my background?
That's a fucking beautiful background.
It's gonna be there forever.
I like that, man. I'm telling you, that's a huge accomplishment, man. For somebody like me who grew up watching boxing, like it's the same. Like you see these belts.
I have pictures from 2012, like Facebook statuses, a little ass kid saying, "One day I'm gonna get a WBC belt."
You did that?
So many of them, yeah. And
I would have bullied the shit out of. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I did get bullied, bro. Shit. Give me PTSD.
So here's my pitch to you.
Hit me, Joe.
You got that belt. What? What the fuck's so funny?
I said, hit me, Joe.
You call me Joe?
Yeah, his name's Joe, right?
God damn it.
I know his name. It's
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
It's Will.
I've told him a million times
it's
what it
Will.
is. He called me Lou
You weren't
earlier.
here for this part.
Yeah, you missed out on the joke. It's an inside joke. Jimmy Joe.
I like how it flew over your head too. You're just like, yeah.
It didn't fly over my head. No, for a second I thought like he's referring to like the type of question.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, he's just being a jerk. I'm joking. You have the belt. That comes with a level of respect and status that people need to give you as a fighter, especially in a striking sport. You can easily transition to MMA.
I know.
And then you have the wrestling background,
which not everybody knows. So I hope people don't watch this, but like my
he's terrible. I just took him down earlier. Wrestler. He's terrible.
Horrible. But realistically, wrestled for 4 years. Yeah. Coached for another 4 years. So I'm not like D1 level, but if someone shot on me,
you're a wrestler.
Yeah, if someone shot on me, I know what I'm doing in that aspect.
Right, you didn't learn how to defend wrestling.
Yeah, I'm a wrestler.
You're a wrestler. Yeah. Well, anyway, consider MMA.
I am. I have been. That's been my biggest goal after this. I need to just sit down with my coach. And
what weight do you fight at?
25.
What weight would you fight at?
25.
It would be the same. It would translate the same in MMA.
I don't know. I feel like.
I don't know. I don't know if it's any different because
I cut from like 140, so I feel like that's what MMA fighters do. I don't know. I'm too short for like 32.
What would he be, Gabby? Is that
125? That makes sense.
I think 125.
That's it.
125. I was 125 when I was like 10. How the fuck do you hit
I was
125?
like 125?
You're not a small dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm just husky, man. I'm saying.
Your old chubby self was like,
fluffy.
How heavy were you when you were?
My nickname used to be Fluffy.
Fluffy? I feel like you should keep that name.
Nah, I don't.
In the MMA though, only.
Fluffy and Little Debbie.
Oh, that's
Pop Tarts. Those are my names.
That's fucked up. Pop Tarts are delicious.
Yeah, I used to almost got sponsored by Pop Tarts.
That would have been funny.
That would have been fire, but I was a kid and called from my house phone. I didn't think it was gonna work, and I never called back.
Oh Lord. Well, I think it would be cool to see you in MMA. Because so then are you looking to? You have to defend the belt.
I want to defend it one time.
Okay.
I want to defend it once, and I already got called out by like a bunch of people, who, in my honest opinion, I have no disrespect for, and I would love to fight them, but I don't think they did enough in the sport to fight for this belt. Not to fight me, but like to do what I did to get this belt. Like I waited as a pro for 4 or 5 years, fighting consecutively.
Yeah.
And the people who are asking to fight it, like no disrespect to them, I want to fight them, but I do not think it should be
For the belt.
for the belt. You know what I mean?
How many fights do you have as a pro?
19.
Okay. Right. So it's not like you didn't get this belt after 5 pro
You
fights.
know, and people who are calling
Which some
me
people
out
do, yeah.
will have like 3-5 fights.
Yeah, no.
I'm just like,
You got to work harder.
but at the same time, thank you, come again. Like I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll fight anybody. But
Can you turn it down? Is it like
I feel
mandatory?
I feel like an average person could turn it down, but I feel like I wouldn't be allowed to turn it down. Like I feel like people, I get love in this sport from the community, the tri-state, people who know me personally.
Yeah.
But like
Outside of here, not so much.
nah, not really, man. I never got like the respect or talked about and accomplished shit that I accomplished, and nobody really cares. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm not, I guess, what people portray as the poster boy for whatever, and I can give two shits. But there's people who have done less than me, who get more love, who get more affection, who get more opportunities, who get this, who get that. You know, and my uncle has been in the game for so long, and a lot of people don't like him because he's doing what I'm doing now, but he did it longer with the political views.
Yeah.
So his shit became my shit.
Right.
I'm his nephew. I'm doing the same footsteps. So a lot of people don't like me. I don't get on big shows. Like I have like messages.
Hey, bro, you made it here.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, right? I have messages of people who say, like, oh, like, yeah, we want you, but, like, you can't post about Palestine. Like, shit like that, you know? Yeah. So I don't get the same love that other people get, you know? Yeah. And like I said, I got this. If I'm never on TV, I don't give a shit. If I'm not fighting on, I don't want to say the names of the shows, but if I'm not fighting on their shows, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we don't get paid enough for me to sell my soul. So MMA would be nice given the fact that it's a different platform. And I don't think MMA is not as it's not as political.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. Like you got Palestinians in the UFC, Bilal Muhammad. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wasn't there an Israeli who just fought a Palestinian?
He fought an Afghani guy.
Afghani guy. Okay.
Called him a terrorist at the weigh-in.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I'm saying.
As a bitch. Yeah. So even
he got choked out.
Even that, like saying something like that, Dana White wasn't like, yo, you're off the show.
Well, that's what
Dana White's kind of just like, you believe in whatever you want.
Yeah, I do like that about Dana White, where he's like, this is the fucking fight business.
Yeah,
like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, what I do outside of fighting has nothing to do with my fighting.
Right.
You know, like, are you gonna tell a black brother and sister you can't fight because you posted about George Floyd?
Yeah.
The world would go crazy.
That's true.
You know, so what's the difference of you saying I can't fight if I'm posting about Palestine? You know what I mean? It's just.
It's all about sponsors.
It's what's trending. It's what the majority believes.
Yeah. But I think ultimately, whoever tells you not to talk, either they have something against you and your beliefs, or it's a sponsor thing. They don't want to lose a sponsorship because they have somebody talking about Palestine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then they don't want to.
It's not always them individually.
No, a lot of times it's their bottom line. It's like
silence is compliance, man. That's how I look at it.
Can that be the title of the episode?
Hell yeah.
Silence is compliance.
I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I just came up with that just now. It kind of just came out. Like I never said that before.
Bro, you just got the belt for the fucking coming up with shit. Just saying. I don't even know.
But I do think MMA would be much simpler for me. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I haven't fought. Like, California was my first time in America in 3 years. Like, you know what I've been doing to fight here? Like,
yeah,
I haven't fought in Philly in like 4 years. Like, and I have like the craziest ghetto crowd. It's hilarious. It's awesome. Like.
The craziest ghetto crowd?
Yeah, like my crowd is like those people that are just like, not hood, just angry Arabs. Oh. Who are just flags in the air, flying, screaming, cursing everyone's life out, thinking I'm fighting for $1 million. You know what I mean? It's funny. It's like promoters love it, you know?
That's great.
So I haven't fought local. In Cali, I brought like 50 people. And that was the first time in 3 years that I had my dad at my fight.
Really?
Like, you know what I mean? Or like my family. When I say overseas, I mean like $1,000 plane ticket overseas, not like Canada.
Yeah, they just can't make it.
They can't make it, you know what I mean? And to call off of work. So like to have that, I felt it and I was like, damn, like I haven't had people chant my name.
Yeah.
And as a fighter, that does so much.
Yeah.
Especially in someone's hometown. So I miss the feeling of having my family, friends, tickets, like the stress of selling tickets, all that shit. It's a part of the game, you know? So I feel like MMA.
Has any local regional MMA people reached out to you about fighting or no?
No, but they all. I know a lot of people personally on shows.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who could get me on easily.
I'm just wondering why not.
I just need to just do it, man. I just overthink everything. Like on the way home, I'm probably gonna overthink.
Have you been training? I'm gonna get you on. Don't worry.
MMA.
Yeah. No. Have you been actively training? Are you like yeah?
I've been training.
I don't know if you.
No, I've been training. I just started training more I've always trained consistent, but my shins were banged up for a while. My shins are always like trashed. I
That's
kick.
what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I kick a lot, way more than the average person who's not Thai. You know what I mean? So I kick a lot. So my shins are always dented, but I train the week of my fight. You know.
I'm gonna make a quick assumption, and I should know this. Pereira, the guy who knocked out Izzy twice.
Yeah, in the UFC.
Outside of the UFC.
Yeah, he
just went in the UFC and knocked out the guy with that flying knee.
Yeah.
Is he a Muay Thai guy?
He's a K1 guy.
K1 guy.
Glory rules is no elbows, no clinch.
Okay, but the same world.
Yeah, same world, just not Muay Thai rules.
I only bring that up because there was
Yeah, but Alex Pereira is a.
but there was a physical difference between the way that guy looked and moved than an MMA fighter. It was interesting to see. Like he looked athletic in a very weird way.
Up tall, not as low to the ground.
His stance, the way he moved his lower body when he was going for shit, like it was really, I don't know. I was very impressed. I was happy with the result because it would have been a fucking letdown.
I'm a big fan of him, but I'm a bigger fan of Izzy.
Oh hell yeah!
Izzy stands for us nerds.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Oh, the anime shit.
Yeah.
I need to learn some of this stuff.
We'll have a talk.
Yeah.
I'll give you a checklist.
Oh God. I'll make it to one of those things.
Yeah.
My kid got into anime for a little
Your
bit.
kid's a smart kid.
Huh?
Smart kid.
Yeah. I'm just joking.
Changes your life, man.
He's not committed enough yet. He's 11, so he's not committed enough to that world to like sit down and like really go behind it. But he likes the culture of it. We're big fans of Izzy on the show.
Yeah, I love Izzy.
Probably my favorite fighter.
Yeah, honestly, like in the UFC.
His fight with Gaslam might be my favorite fight. I've said this before.
I was wondering why he hasn't fought recently. Like
is he?
I don't know. I haven't.
Well, because he fought Blachowicz.
Yeah.
Blachowicz, and he lost. And then
Vittori.
He's a strap for taking that fight.
Oh right, he beat Vittori.
Yeah.
So then
shorts.
I think he was supposed to fight Whitaker again.
Why?
But exactly. Not only first of all, their fights fall apart all the time with him. Whitaker has pulled out of fights like twice.
Izzy has such IQ, man. And everyone talks about like if he rematches Pereira. But like when you fight in Glory, you have to fight.
Yeah.
In the UFC, Izzy's not gonna fight him.
Yeah.
Izzy doesn't have to do what he did in K1. Where you have to in Muay Thai, if you suck, you suck. You can't rely on anything else. Like if you suck, you suck. That's it. In UFC, MMA, like Izzy's so smart, you won't fight him. Like with Diego Costa, he didn't fight Costa. He just made him look stupid.
There's just such a high level that guy brings that's like, so fucking great to see.
Like Pereira's not beating him because you can't knock out what you can't touch.
But that is the dream fight for the UFC, no? Like,
because Pereira knocked him out.
It's like Pereira needs 3 more solid fucking knockouts,
and he's gonna get it.
And then
they're gonna promote the
fucking promo videos of Izzy getting knocked out. Izzy, let's say, doesn't lose at all until that moment happens. This is the biggest fucking fight ever.
Yeah.
But we just got to get the people familiar with who this guy is.
And I would love to see it because I want Izzy to get that back.
Yeah. Perfect way for him to end whatever he's going to end at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Izzy again.
I think I could take him.
Okay. He's like 6'5". He's tall as shit. That doesn't matter to you?
It does.
Of course it does. Of course it does. He can probably kick you from across the fucking ring.
If he let me just punch him as hard as I could one time, I think I could drop him.
You probably could, but he probably slips it.
It's a possibility.
It's Izzy. I'm only saying this because Izzy. If anybody else, I would never disrespect you.
You know what, man? I'm gonna agree with you.
I would never disrespect you.
I don't know where I was going with that.
That was like Pat Brady talking about he wanted to beat up oh my God, what the fuck's his name? The California kid. Come on, UFC California kid. Uriah Faber.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he's a heavyweight, and he was like, I think I can take him. And we're all like,
probably.
We're like, probably not though. You're huge. Probably not though. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. So, the strap is a beautiful belt. I'm telling you should just keep it here. We'll keep it safe.
Yeah, right? I wonder if you get a frame for it.
We'll keep it safe. Do you have to give that back if somebody beats you? Or do you keep it?
No, you keep it forever.
Okay, so they just give him
a new one.
A new one.
So, this is staying with me.
But don't they take it from you in the ring in that moment? Is that just boxing?
Maybe just boxing, but
because I was having this conversation when the Canelo just fought, because everybody was like, "But he's gonna lose all 5 belts," and I'm like, "I think so."
No, he keeps them.
But in the ring, I remember
I
Andy
don't know-
Reese
I
when
don't
he
know
knocked out
about-
Joshua.
I don't know.
Fucking Mexican boy with 5 belts around himself. It would look like it was just
I
a
don't
show.
know about boxing, but I know in Muay Thai,
I know what Mexican has.
you don't even bring your belt. if you're
Oh, okay.
defending.
Well, see, it's got to be different.
And if you win, you just get a brand new belt again.
Okay.
Because they already got the belt, so they're not just going to leave it in the storage.
Wait, so when you defend this, if you win
I'll
that
get another
defense,
one.
you get a brand new belt?
Because they already got it. What are they going to do with it? Like,
Oh, that's a fair point.
you know what I mean? What are they going to just put it in like the office? Like, they're going to give it to you.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I know the
you.
UFC, they just give you a diamond. on
Right,
the
you
thing.
add like a ruby or a
Yeah.
diamond, like based on how many times you defend, and then
Yeah.
they swap it out. It's a
But
good idea.
In Muay Thai, I'd even know, maybe MMA, if you defend the belt, you just keep it and you get a new belt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I say that some promotions do that because I know.
What does CFFC do?
At one point, at least, I don't know what it is right now, but they did do multiple belts.
Okay.
I feel like they don't anymore. Because I know so many CFC champs who have one belt.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not cost effective
To be
just
giving
give
out belts
new
at every fight.
belts.
Of course
Yeah.
not.
But that's what Team
They're not
Tornado
that
has to
expensive,
Sean
you know what I
Brady.
mean? Like,
Yes, they are.
belts?
Just say this to the people. Don't make them. Don't diminish the value of the product. It's a beautiful belt,
Yeah, it's pretty as hell. But
and it's heavier than I thought.
The old WBC belt isn't. The Muay Thai just changed their belts. The old belt was much different. The
Which is the
national
one that has like the red and white. I'm thinking boxing again, but it looks like a lace. It's
Oh, yeah.
I guess the IBO belt, I think.
it's really shitty looking.
Yeah.
Like that's nice. Like that's got the
Pretty,
nice
yeah.
leather.
It's
Like that. That
the
pops.
WBC green, you know?
Yeah, that pops.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold it up again. We're talking about.
Don't break my new mics.
Look, guys.
Look at that. Look at that. Shine.
Got like a leather thing on it. Tell me like what number belt was made. It's pretty cool.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Do you wear it?
Huh?
Do you ever
I
wear
think I
it?
wore it like twice.
Yeah.
It's so like bent nicely. I don't want to ever wear it. Like, you know
I
what
was gonna say because that looks like it's never been kind
I
of.
mean? Yeah, I
messed
wore it
with.
like one time to make a funny video in the gym, and that was it.
Okay, so the week that you got it, when you got back home, did you wear it places ever? Did you bring it places?
So there's a big story behind this belt, and now I'm comfortable saying it because I got the belt. But I didn't get this belt till a month after I fought.
Okay.
So there's a lot of tea, but let's just say I was given a false belt.
What?
And like blackmail to like fight again to get this belt, which I was supposed to get when I won.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's crazy shit like that, right?
Breaking news.
Yeah, right. So I never announced it because I got the belt and I was like, whatever. I'm
The
not even-
WBC did this?
No, the person who sanctioned by
The promotion?
WBC. Yeah, WBC was involved and they got me my belt, but like I had to get WBC involved for me to get my belt.
Wait. That's gotta be the most disappointing fucking thing in the world. I mean, it's
Yeah,
one
like-
thing is disappointing when like you ask your parents for a gift for Christmas or
On top of
whatever or
that,
for your birthday.
They forced my opponent to give me his belt. They didn't want to give me a new one because they wanted me to fight again to defend to get a new one. That was their way of bringing me back
Yeah.
and making money off of me.
Gabby, have you ever asked for a gift and then you get like a knockoff version or like a shitty version of it?
You know
Or
what I
like,
mean? Like-
Yeah, but I haven't gotten punched in the face.
Like
for
we
gifts.
already barely get paid. Like the least you could do is.
but
give
that's
me my
but
fucking
my
belt.
point is like you had one goal and it was to get the belt and then you get this belt and it's not the real fucking belt.
It's not, and it was the old belt, scratches all over it,
Oh my
crease because it was
God.
my opponent's belt who had it for 3 years.
Who knows where? Because he hadn't fought for 3 years.
Like, you know what I mean? God, probably in the damn attic. I don't know where it's been.
You should have said, "I'm gonna keep his belt and I want a new belt."
I thought of that, but then I was like, the fact that this dude even brought it.
You feel bad a little bit.
So he brought it. So because supposedly when he won, he didn't get the belt for a while. So he brought it out of respect. So I have something to wear in the ring.
I like this
mean?
guy.
Like he's a respectable dude. Like, and I would not mind rematching.
And then
him
that
one day.
shithead's like, "No, take that one."
Yeah, but I ended up mailing his belt back.
Okay, good for you.
I was in contact with him and I was like, yo, like he was like, yeah, man, kind of made me give it to you and this and that. And I went through that, so I didn't want you to go through it. So when I got this belt, I went to California to get it. He didn't even ship it to me. I went to California to get the belt. When I was in Cali, I sent my opponent his belt back to square everything up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just,
I will say this though. You just brought up another fair point. This guy obviously thought he was gonna lose though. If he brought his belt so you could have something to wear in the ring once you beat him.
I don't think it was necessarily. He said he was forced to bring it.
Oh, okay.
Like
I just thought he was like, this guy's gonna whoop my ass. I'm gonna bring that
he
belt
was,
because I'm gonna have to give it to him.
He was forced to bring it. You know what I mean? He was told the day before the weigh.
Right, so he already knew the way they work.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, I'm just gonna bring it. This guy, if he beats me, he has it. If not, then I have it, and I don't have to worry about getting a new one.
There's much more to the story, but like that's like the summary of it. There's a lot of shady shit, but not from my opponent or from me.
Yeah, just the organization.
The organization is.
Is that how the sport typically is? A little bit? No. Really?
No.
Just that organization.
Just him. Longest active show in America too, by the way. But
what's the name of the show?
Whatever. Well, cat's out of the bag, guys. I'm not fighting there again.
What's the name of the show?
WCK.
WCK.
Yes,
so
sir.
can you defend that in a different show?
Yeah, I can defend this belt anywhere that's WBC related. Okay. WBC is a sanctioning.
Right. No, I know.
So,
but
yeah, they could,
I only asked that because like CFFC, UFC, like obviously you can't go to Bellator with a UFC belt and defend it.
I can fight anywhere that's sanctioned by WBC.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Good.
There's that.
Yeah, don't go back.
I don't want to go back.
It's fucking terrible.
And I feel like I'm the champ now, you know?
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Like, I went to the champ to take the belt, which is fair game. Yeah. But now that I'm the champ, I shouldn't have to fight another Cali kid in Cali.
Come to Philly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come to New York. Come here. Like, we have a show in New York that does WBC. So I feel like if someone wants the belt, they got to, like, come to me, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Quick question. Who else, even in others, in boxing, has a belt actively in Philly?
Nobody. WBC, just me.
No, that's what I'm saying.
My coach, who's retired.
No, but active, right? Active.
Just me. I'm the only one in Philly with this belt because this is the new one. So there's there's 3 WBC belts in Philly, like 2 retired, and me. But I'm the only one with the new like.
Yeah.
Like if I show you this one and I show you like the older one, it's like completely different.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been on the show.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have been valuable enough. But the WBC belt always had like that prestige name. Yeah. But like this belt, I have a picture of the old one. Like this one compared to like the one I had and the one like the other retired fighters have. Yeah. It's just so much nicer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm the only active. Actually, I think, don't quote, but I think I'm the only active WBC champion in the East Coast.
Okay.
So.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, right.
Put some respect on his name.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn it. All right, so we're gonna get you an MMA fight. Yep. You're gonna wear only Cageside gear. Cool. And
we got sponsors. But.
We'll be your sponsor. No financial responsibilities. No, I'm just joking. One thing that that's a whole separate conversation. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but it would be cool. I just faked Gabby out. She was about to get ready to roll us out of here, and I love doing this.
I'm practicing.
No, I wanted 2 quick things, but I wanted to throw it your way too. I kind of want to organize, call me crazy, but I kind of want to organize some form of I'll call it nonprofit just to be clear about it, but like something to go to Puerto Rico to do like a weekend thing to like train or bring the sport to over there. Not that they don't have the sport. There's plenty of boxing and stuff like that in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But MMA, I don't know about Muay Thai.
There's Muay Thai in Puerto Rico.
But it would be cool. What I want to do is bring the Philly talent. So it's not just about the sport. Like there's the sport. Just in general. But the Philly top fucking guys that we have on the show all the time. I have a house in Puerto Rico that fits. It's 5 fucking rooms. You know what I mean? So we could just go take over for a weekend. And all we need is one fucking sponsor to cover basically the cost. Because we just go to do it, right? And we do a show from there. And then we kind of organize the whole thing. And it's just a matter of getting the fucking kids excited and learn a little something from some of you guys. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be so fire. My dream is to go like overseas and teach people. You know what I mean?
I think that would be, that's like,
there's no other, like
Puerto Rico. I'll speak only for what I know. They love when things come from somewhere else and bring it there. You know what I mean?
That's like every country that doesn't get enough recognition is like that.
Yeah, because they have their own shit going. But when you come and I don't know enough about Danaher to talk about, but I think he's the one that has a school in Puerto Rico. So like GSP goes down there and stuff like that to train with it. But I don't know that it's known. I don't know that it's like a mission, like a thing.
I feel like it's humbling.
Yeah.
It's humbling to have everything.
Yeah.
In the fight game, I guess, and to give it to people.
Yeah.
Who don't have the same access that we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who don't have the same opportunities that we do.
Yeah, I think it would be cool, and I think it could lead to who the fuck knows. It could lead to an event, like it could lead
right? Like
to a Muay Thai thing that we're part of, or a CFFC event in Puerto Rico for the first. Like it could lead to something, but I think a baby step would be cool to set something. You know,
that would be super.
A year from now.
I mean, you got my support.
Yeah, that'd be 100%. Awesome, man. One last thought: fights this weekend. What do we have? We have Yair versus. I'm excited for this one. Yair versus Max Holloway. Do you like either of these two guys? Holloway?
I'm a Holloway guy.
He's a fucking badass, right?
Goals.
Do you agree that he's the best boxer in the UFC? That's what he calls himself.
So I'm not.
And the daddest man on the planet.
I want to say yeah, but I'm not like super, like I don't even know the big names in the UFC. I don't keep up as much.
Yeah.
But I think Holloway's hands are disgusting.
Yeah.
And nasty.
Yeah.
So I would say he does, but I'm not as educated as you would be.
His performance against Cater was something
Yes.
like. I mean, it was abusive.
Dude, don't stop, bro.
It was
I would hate
abusive.
to fight somebody like that.
He does not stop.
It gives me anxiety. Like
Yeah.
he just doesn't stop. Like,
Gives you
relax.
anxiety. You fucking get
like,
punched for a living. Gives me
Shit.
anxiety. But I'll say this. This is an exciting fight for me, in my opinion, because I think Yair is he's a very fucking solid talent. He doesn't fight enough. He's not in front of cameras enough. He doesn't give a shit about, you know what I mean? Like he's not a good boy.
He's not there for the wrong, you know what I mean? He's supposed to fight.
He's not a UFC good boy. Like he won't fight for 2 years because he just didn't
feel
want
like it,
to
yeah.
or didn't agree but he's fucking talented as all hell. So if he comes at the best level and Max Holloway always brings it, could be a fucking great fight.
Yeah. I don't know if anything's going to top the rest of the year of Gaethje and Chandler, though.
How good was that?
They didn't care about their lives.
Chandler is stupid.
I don't fight like that. You crazy. I don't get paid enough to fight like that.
Chandler's not very smart.
They just don't care. They were just going at it.
But but they were going at it
In like a smart way, though.
Gaethje was taking risks by letting loose because he had the fight won. So but Chandler was getting whooped and was saying, "Give me more."
Yeah.
Dude, you got a kid at home. What are you doing?
Who were you rooting for prior to the fight?
I was rooting for Gaethje.
Yeah, me too. I was rooting for Gaethje.
I was rooting for Gaethje, but I think I thought Chandler was going to
That might
somehow
be like
win.
the best UFC opener I ever seen in my life.
I know.
Like that should not have been the first fight.
Well, it wasn't, and they did it because of the coach. Because the coach had 3 fights, and the main event and
the
Usman Rose, so main event, co-main event, and then Gaethje. So he would have had 3 fighters to warm up.
Back. So that makes sense.
So they
played out good though.
I actually think that might be that should be the new thing.
Crazy
think about it.
At the beginning, start you up.
You know why? Because
I was ready to watch at 10. I was there.
Dude, casual fans or whoever's tuning in, a lot of times you watch 3 shit fights and you're kind of like, or people are just talking. Like you don't get into it.
They won't even watch it till the co-main.
So now you hit me with something like this and you're like, all right, well now I'm ready to go.
You know, I don't know if you know, in Thailand, the main event is the middle of the card.
Oh, really?
Because that's when the fans are there the most.
See, but that makes sense.
The main event fight is like fight number 4 out of like 8.
Huh.
So they put you in the middle. So everybody's there to see
fight
you.
8, nobody's there, everybody just fucking leaves.
They leave. Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, because it's betting.
Yeah.
Thailand, they bet during fights. Like there's a crowd for betting, so it's different.
Huh, that's interesting. But I think that should be the way to wrangle people. And also, I think it steps up the competition for the next fight.
Yeah.
Because if you're fight number 2 in the card, you're not going to go after that shit. You better put it all on the line. You know? Otherwise, you're like, oh, I'm the first fight of the main event. I can take it easy and kind of, you know?
Yeah. And it also hypes up the crowd.
Then everybody's fucking screaming, kill him.
If the Canelo fight was at the same time as Rose, I would have watched the whole show.
That was some bullshit, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought the Canelo fight was going to be strategically placed so we could watch the UFC and the Canelo fight.
Yeah, but
I don't think, I don't know. We can talk about.
I just missed the Rose fight. That was it. I watched everything.
I had a screen and a laptop going at the same time, but I missed most of the Rose one because I was focused on the Canelo thing.
I'm happy she won.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a big fan of Rose.
I'm surprised she won though.
I wanted her to win, but I thought Wang, whatever her name is.
Wang.
Yeah, Wang Zhu.
Wei Li.
Like that. Wang
Zhu. Wang
I don't know these names, man. I thought after losing, she was just gonna have a crazy comeback. But
now that she lost, she should call herself Wang Zhu.
Yeah, right.
No, I agree. I thought I've always said she's the scariest woman on the planet.
Yeah,
but now
Rose
it's
got
like
it, man. Shit.
Roses. Holy shit. It was a great night of fights. Fuck Canelo. Honestly, I'm over Canelo. I'll say that again and again. I'm not like I just.
Not a big fan of Canelo.
No, never been.
Now I have a question for you. You put Canelo in his prime. Put Mayweather in his prime.
Yeah.
Who's winning?
I still think Mayweather.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why wouldn't he? He's so good at controlling the way the fight goes. That's all he does.
Yeah.
It's not that he's gonna, and he's never.
I agree. I love Mayweather as a fighter, but I think Canelo would beat him now.
Canelo will certainly beat him now, but if you're talking about prime Floyd, who like is super slippery and like
smooth
as shit.
Yeah.
Because here's my fucking point with Canelo. It's fine. People think I'm a hater. Oh, I got in arguments all fucking weekend long with Curtis and all sorts of fucking. Anyway, if you're so good and your power's on your side, I put it this way. I've never liked a fighter who waits all the way to the fucking end to prove what they could have proved in round 3. I am a Trinidad fan. I am a Tito Trinidad fan.
Yeah.
That guy would hurt you, and he was bouncing off the ropes, excited to put you out.
Yeah. He was from the beginning.
What am I gonna wait till fucking round 8 to start?
I could see that. I could see.
So Caleb Plant looked good. He looked good. Okay, is he at the level of Canelo? Maybe not.
But Canelo let him look good.
But Canelo. So why? But why?
Why?
If you're so good, put it on quicker.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating. It's
That's a good point though. I can see where
I
you're
like
coming from.
or be a Mayweather fighter. You know what to expect.
Yeah,
he's gonna make you miss. He's gonna tap you left and right with whatever he wants to throw.
He's gonna make you look stupid.
Yeah, he's gonna make you look stupid, right? And then he's gonna win by decision 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
You know what to expect. Canelo's like, I'm gonna whenever I decide,
but hurry up.
I'm gonna knock you out whenever I'm ready. And it's like, all right, fuck's sake, just do it already.
I want to go back to the UFC fights. Hurry up.
Yeah, exactly. Colby Covington.
Wow.
I'm just saying, he looked good.
He did look good.
He always looks good. People just hate him because of his beliefs or his show, shtick, whatever you want to call it. He looked great.
I'm more of a Usman fan.
I don't like Usman.
I'm always going to root for the Muslim though, so I'm biased on that. Yeah.
And I always go for the guy who's, well, I would say least cringy, but shit, I guess they're both cringy in different ways.
I would say Kobe's more cringy than Usman though.
You think he is?
He gives me like weird vibes. Like minus his like political views, like him as a person. He's just very strange.
But I think he's very obvious that he's putting on a fake show.
Yeah, for like the fans.
I think Usman legit is cringy. Nice guy.
He said something that like a quote after his last W that like made me respect him a lot more.
Yeah.
He said something along the lines like, when my daughter is 20, she's not gonna say, "Oh, my dad had $20 million."
Where were you?
Say, "Where were you?"
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like, I respect.
No,
that,
I respect. Yeah, and that's that type of shit I like.
You know what I mean?
It's when, put it this way. This is when I don't like him. When he acts tough.
Like kneeling on the ground, like in between the rounds and shit.
When he acts tough, it's like, oh, you can't pull it off. It's not like McGregor does it. You're like,
don't have the arrogant vibe. So he just sounds a little weird when he does it.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
And it pisses me.
He's like humbly disrespectful.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
So
like McGregor's another thing though, man. I used to be the biggest fan of McGregor.
Yeah.
I used to be.
Yeah, until the anti-Muslim shit.
But then like the anti-Muslim shit, the throwing the chair at Rose, the punching a DJ at a bar, like there's just.
Some say that's staying active. I'm just joking.
I guess, yeah.
I'll just say.
I think McGregor is an awesome athlete.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to hate him as a person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like there's certain things you just can't say. Like certain things you just can't do.
I don't.
That you can't come back from. You know what I mean? You gotta take that shit to the grave. You better always act like that now. Like.
Yeah. I just think he set up too big of a
expectation.
He set up too big of a thing at this point to come back from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I also do think if he just takes himself to hell, like and just in his head, like any fighter will know what I'm talking about. I don't necessarily mean like hell. Like just take yourself to that lowest point of your life and accept it and work on it. The comeback would be crazy.
Yeah,
I don't think he's acknowledged he's not who he was.
Yeah,
I think if he acknowledges that and like goes through that depression, goes through that, accepts
he's living in La La Land.
Yeah, I feel like if he just takes himself to that lowest point of himself and he came out of it, we would get the old McGregor who would call us out by the second when he's gonna knock you out.
Yeah,
like that was when I was a McGregor's fan. I was a McGregor fan when he used to talk about how he lived off of welfare.
Yeah.
Knocking out my favorite fighter, Aldo, this person, that person. How do you not support that?
Yeah.
And then when he started like, Khabib, I'm gonna take your wife's hijab off, like all that, like you know, like there's just things like trying to get him to drink beer, like there's things you just can't respect. Yeah. You know, things you just can't take back, and I think those are religion and family. You don't. Yeah. You don't talk about.
Yeah, it's a weird direction to go. Especially when you're a family man yourself. Like, that's a weird thing to do.
But it's easy to do that against someone Khabib, but you know Khabib's not going to say it back.
Yeah. Khabib, though, I will say this.
Yeah, motherfucker kept his patience.
Well, so I disagree.
Until after the fight.
Well, no, but not even that night. I actually loved Khabib but I didn't know enough about Khabib. But I did like every time. Like put it this way, I didn't follow him, but when I saw he was on a card, I would root for him. I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
And then when the rivalry with Conor, then you get to know him more. You get to know Conor more. Conor definitely was the one that fucked it all up with. He went over the line and all that shit. Yeah. But then I saw Khabib in like almost in a very dismissive way to a lot of people. I feel like, it's just my opinion. I feel like he talks down in his way of speaking, and I kind of started feeling like, oh, like you kind of feel like your shit don't stink a little bit.
I think I know what you mean,
and I don't like that.
But I also think the dude just doesn't know English good.
Yeah, you're giving him a cop out. He knows English. You know why I know? Because when you see him interacting with DC,
yeah, he's just perfectly normal, right?
Well, just super likable and friendly and funny. Doesn't take himself too serious. He's like, you're like, oh, I like that guy. I would like that guy. But when you hear him talking to other people, you're like, oh, you're being kind of a little bit of a shithead.
I can't say I've seen anything like that. But I would believe you. I never experienced that.
I don't know. I just don't like people who act like, I don't know.
I always thought he was very humble.
I thought so too. I think he is. I think he is humble. It's just the way he communicates that seems a little arrogant. A little arrogant.
The words he chooses?
The way he talks to people.
Okay.
His like mannerisms. Like if we were talking right now, you were talking to me like Khabib, I would feel like you think I'm a little less than you.
Yeah. Okay.
Less, not as smart.
I understand what you're
saying. Not as cultured or don't know enough about your, whatever it might be. Like you just shared a bunch of shit that I don't know, but it was a good conversation. Like there was a level of respect, I feel like, where you were just like sharing. Yeah. I feel like when he talks to people sometimes, it's kind of like. Shut up
and listen?
Sort of, a little bit.
Okay, maybe. I understand what you're saying. I don't know. I think Khabib's the GOAT.
You think he's the GOAT?
By that, yes, sir.
Nah, though, bro. He didn't fight that many people.
I'm being biased when I say that, though.
He is the GOAT as far as not one man on this earth, once he has you down, can get out of it.
I mean, there's arguments. There's GSP. That's my biased answer.
I agree with what he's done in the octagon.
Yeah,
he can do it to any man. It was so long as but nasty. Except for Al Iaquinta.
Who's that?
Exactly. Iaquinta is the real estate mogul. Not mogul. He's just a real estate guy from Long Island, from New York. He trains with Aljamain Sterling, all these people. He is as good as a fighter can be without being at the top 10 level.
Okay. I understand.
But he took a Khabib fight with like a week's notice because the fight was in Madison Square Garden in New York, and he's from New York, and he went in after, I think the fight was supposed to be Tony Ferguson, so that fell through. Then it was going to be with Max Holloway. Max Holloway almost died cutting weight. And then, hey, Al, can you fight with like 3 days notice? All right, sure. Against Khabib.
Say no, I'm taking it.
He took it.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'm kind of thinking Khabib kind of took it easy on him because he didn't control him. It went the distance, and Khabib got hit by Al Iaquinta a lot.
I didn't watch that fight.
Watch it. It's very strange. That's the one guy who did pretty damn good.
Yeah, but it's the fights when you have nothing to lose that you do the best at.
Maybe.
Like on Ali's side.
And maybe also Khabib was prepared for one guy, then switched to another guy, and then switched to a third guy.
There's also a lot of times when you know you're better than somebody on paper, you don't respect them as much, and then you don't perform as good.
That's true.
So it could have been.
But it was like he has that feather in the hat where he can be like, well, out of all these people, I did pretty damn good against Khabib.
Yeah, that's a great flex.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So, all right, Gabby, you can get ready to roll us out. I promise I won't continue to talk. This was it's been a good episode.
Yeah,
my
it was
sir.
fun.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Brother. Joe, son of a bitch. Oh, Lord.